Morning, dear students. I hope all of you are attentive. Vasu, Ismi, and Vipin. How are you guys? Yeah, if I'm audible clearly, then please reply to the chat box. Yeah, Tushar, how are you? Yashan, yeah, Dipen, Manav, yes, yeah, Vipin, Devansh, Dipen, Girish, yeah, Tushar, how are you? Yeah, only Vasu is attending the session. What about other guys? Yes, please reply so I can proceed for the next or I always expect. Yeah, Manav. Okay, very nice. So, we have this the last issue. Yeah, Vasu, can you tell me what we were discussing in the last session?
Sir, we are in the lab session or classroom.
Yeah, in the classroom, what we were doing.
Sir, we are doing AWS server related. Create a AWS account.
Okay, 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 okay. Not an issue. Just yeah. I hope Manu, my voice is coming properly now. Yeah, am I audible? Yeah, please reply, Manu. I think this voice is okay. Okay. Yeah, so guys, as per our syllabus, in the last lecture, I was giving the detail related to AWS economics and pricing. So we have discussed how AWS charge on the basis of three basic services: first, compute, storage, and data transfer. So we have discussed in the inbound, outbound, and all things we have discussed. After that, we have also created, or I have suggested, you have to create your free tier account on the AWS. So anyone from this batch who is new or who is just first starting to learn the AWS, so who have created the AWS free tier account. Yeah, in the last session I have guide how you can create the free tier account. So anyone who have created, yeah, Devansh, Dipen, Girish, Manav, Tushar, Smith, Pathi. Yeah, how many people have now account on the AWS? Yeah, guys, if you will reply, then the session will be interesting. Otherwise, what will happen? I will continuously explain, and you will not learn a lots of things which I want to try to explain to you. That's why I am expecting your involvement. So, Vasu, have you created your account? Manav,
Yes, sir.
what's your yeah? Okay. Yeah, so I was saying you have to explore the free tier things related to the AWS free tier account. So I think Vasu, you have go through the free tier account and you have understand which type of service it's offer. So I have suggested everyone have to go on the first three pages. So when you will go on the first three pages, so just wait. Um, Yeah, you will get how the AWS is giving the one service that we are saying the AW Amazon EC2. So they are giving the 750 hours for the computations free for a 1 year. They are also giving the storage space of a, S3 bucket in the 5 GB. They are also giving the database services for a 750 hours that we are saying the RDS data services. So guys, I think yeah, Vasu, you identify any new service? Sir, I just want to know about this service in the free tier.
Uh, uh, no, sir, I am not use any services or explore any services right now because I have
Okay,
no internet bandwidth with high bandwidth.
okay, not an issue, not an issue. So, guys, the next time when you will just go, so I will request to everyone, please create your AWS free tier account and you can just explore the services which they are offering. What my suggestion? Suppose I am clicking on this database service that we are saying the Amazon DB2. So when I am clicking on the Amazon DB2, so you have to just go through the study. Ki what is the mean? I will explain and we will work on that. Ki what is the Amazon DB2? But you will get ki what they are offering in the free tiers. So you know the DB2 we are using Amazon DynamoDB we are using. So what is the use of DynamoDB? We are using this for a dynamic data, and then we it's going to use for a various type of project like the web gaming project, IoT project. So that time we use, and when you will just click on that service, so you will get all the details. So I cannot explain or we cannot discuss that much on every service, but I am expecting for the first three, at least everyone is going to explore that. So I think everyone will be comfortable with this, the free tier account. Now we are continuing our session. So guys, uh, just wait. Yeah. So, so as per our syllabus or as per our discussion related to the module 3, we have discussed the planning. So in this planning, we have summarized this thing and everyone will be comfortable with this slide. Just wait. Yeah. This some services are also in the free, that is Amazon VPC, Elastic Bench, Densestake, Auto Scaling, AWS Cloud Formations, and IAMA. So these are the free services which are provided by the AWS. In the summary of this, we have discussed there is a no charges. So inbound data transfer between the services within the same region, they will not charge. So this is the no charge services. Pay for what you will use. Start and stop anytime. No long term contract are required, and some services are free but offer, and when we are using it with the sub services, then they will definitely charge. So now let's come on the next things. So our next session and the module is total cost ownership. So guys, in the total cost ownership, I just want to say you, and I want to explain to you what is the meaning of this. So just give me a minute. The total cost. Yeah, today we are going to discuss and cover the concept of total cost ownership. What is the meaning of this total cost? So by this example, you can easily understand. Yeah. Uh, in generally, we have a two type of ownership. So what is the two type of ownership? One is uh, one ownership is ownership, and second is AWS ownership. So guys, in the traditional way, we have a system, okay, and second is AWS ownership or any cloud ownership. I'm not saying the AWS, I'm saying the uh, I'm saying it will be the cloud ownership. So what will happen exactly in this cloud ownership? So in this cloud ownership, the traditional system was equipped with the server, it was equipped with the resources, it was equipped. So what was the mean of the equipments? So all the equipments, like we have a requirement of server, we have requirement of a storage space, we have requirement of a network. So when we are expecting and getting this all services from a specific cloud, so that will be a beneficial. So when you know the example I was using, or we were using the MU example. So guys, when MU is accessing and running their application on premises, and we are using our own infrastructure, so that will be the traditional way. But when we are hosting our application on the cloud and the MU application is accessing the server of any cloud, MU application is accessing the server of, storage of AWS cloud, so that will be the cloud platform. So now when we are working on the on premises, so that will be a different, and when we are working on the cloud. So if any company is migrating or any industry is migrating their system from their own infrastructure to the cloud, so there will be a total cost ownership. So what is the mean of the total cost ownership? This MU have a different type of server and the infrastructure already in our campus. So we are giving this infrastructure to AWS. They will just configure this infrastructure for their whole system. You know, it will be like that. Suppose Vasu have some infrastructure, but Vasu infrastructure is not sufficient for its application. So Vasu want to just move on the cloud. So Vasu, what Vasu will do with the existing infrastructure? He will just give the ownership of existing infrastructure to the AWS. Now AWS will just inbuild, or it will just attach this infrastructure with their cloud platform, and they will provide the extended version of that. So यदि if we are discussing our platform or our server capacity was 2.0 gigahertz, so now I am accessing or I am expecting the cloud will provide me the 5.0 gigahertz 5.0 gigahertz processing power. So two will be used from my side and three they will offer. So guys, when they are using this infrastructure in this way, so this concept we call the total cost ownership. So let's understand, sometimes we are definitely work on a total cost and sometimes we are partially work in this way. So what happened if we are following the total cost ownership? Uh, the total cost ownership is a concept that we call the TCEO. So now any new company will start the things with the total cost ownership of their infrastructure, but some company which are already working and their applications are already running, so they will just come into the point of TCO. So why use the TCO? To compare the cost of running an estimated infrastructure environment, and we are also comparing the workload on premises versus with the AWS. So the budget and the building business cases are moving to the cloud. If in this case, if this thing is happening, just wait. Yeah, if in this case this thing is happening, just wait. Vasu's infrastructure, the cost was high. Okay, so what Vasu is doing? Vasu is just migrating its system. Vasu is just migrating its system. Why it's not working? Yeah, Vasu is just migrating its system to the AWS. That means we are first trying ki how much cost will be what will be the expenses when I am using extending my system on my premises, and I will just compare the cost when I am just going to migrate. So the earlier investment of the infrastructure was suppose 1 crore rupees, and now if I want to increase my infrastructure, so I have to also spend 1 crore rupees for the extension of the infrastructure. So already I have an infrastructure of 1 crore, but when I want to extend the infrastructure, then I have to also spend the 1 crore at the time. So what AWS is saying, ki you have to not spend the 1 crore, you can just move on the cloud with a 1 lakh rupees, and this 1 lakh rupees will be a 1 year charge. And if you are accessing all the services and you are extending the services, then it will be maximum a cost of a 10 lakh rupees. So what will be better? Invest to increase the infrastructure or to migrate the system in this way? So when most of the companies are moving these things, so that things we call the total cost ownership, and these are the benefits. Is it clear, guys? Yeah, Vasu, is it clear? Yeah. Now let's continue this thing. So the most of they are just going to compare the budgets. So how they can compare this budget? So a lots of criteria are there to compare the total cost ownership. So we are not going in that much detail. So you have to just keep this thing in your mind. What are the criteria? So what is the server cost? What is the storage cost? What is the network cost? What is the IT labor cost? And inside the server cost, what will be the installation? What will be the time consuming things? So this all things are the part of. So they are just offering these services and they will take care of this. So if AWS is take caring of this, so we have to just focus on this. Exactly what will happen if I am extending the vertically my system, so I have to focus on this also and I have to focus on this also. So in the total cost ownership offer, I will just focus ki how they are extending my server, how they are extending my storage, and I will not focus on the small things. So guys, these are the benefits of the total cost ownership. So every company which are interested to move on the cloud, they are following this systems. So this is the best paradigm of the AWS. So if yeah, now you can just compare. There is an example. Okay, so on premises, if Vasu want to extend its own premises, so what will be the cost? The cost will be for a 3 year, for a 1 year, it will be a 1,67,000 dollar. And if he is migrating his system with the total cost ownership on the cloud, so they will just charge a 7,590 rupees for a 3 years. So you can just get these benefits. The cost investment is high and the AWS shifting is like this. So guys, you can understand every company is going to move on the cloud and that is the benefits. Now we are uh, coming how you can decide ki what AWS will charge. So guys, uh, you will be comfortable and you will get all the quotations and things ki when you are trying to buy the server, when you are trying to buy the storage and the network equipments. So when you are trying to prepare your budget for the extension of your system, now please keep this thing. I will give you one case study of the extension also, so you will understand easily ki what is the mean of extension. So guys, when you are trying to extend your own system, so you will prepare your budget. But how we can prepare the budget on the AWS? So AWS always provide a facility or a feature that we call the price calculator. Okay, so every company is just going to use AWS price calculator. Now how this price calculator work? So this price calculator will just get the detail of your use cases. Okay, what is your application, where you are using your application. So the use case, I think everyone will be comfortable with the use case. Okay, so if MU have their own application and their own application have a use case, so they will just calculate the price and they will just calculate the charge. And any consultant, and you know the any employee, any person who is working as a AWS solution architect, he can just understand the use case, and on the basis of that use cases, he can estimate the monthly cost for your project. He can identify the opportunity for the monthly cost, model the solution building, and he can calculate the charge. He can also give the groups and details on the basis of use cases. So guys, I will request to everyone, when you will log in on your AWS account, so you can just check this price calculator. So is it clear what is the mean of this price calculator? So every company which is trying to move on the cloud, they will just estimate their things. What will be the budget for 12 months? What will be the budget for a 3 years? So on the basis of that budget, they can just migrate their system on the cloud. So practically, I just want to show you. It's in my account. Just wait. Yeah, it's my account. Uh, just wait. Yeah, I log in on my AWS account. I just want to search, and as a company person, I just want to calculate my price calculator for any application. So you can just go here. Yeah, so they have just divided this. It's in a different calculations for a security they have divided, for a service they have divided. Yeah, this is the price calculator. So you can just go on this screen and you can calculate. You know now at this time you were not comfortable, ki, sir, how we can calculate the price? But when you will comfortable with your applications, ki, what are the requirement? What will be the size of my server, what is the requirement for my applications, so you can just create this all things on the basis of price calculator. So this is the features before we are going to deploy any applications. So any industry can just calculate their price. They can just use their you know we can uh, what we can call it an pre-structure price calculators, or this price calculator will detail key what will be the price and cost for your application. So guys, this is an application of the AWS which we generally use to calculate the total cost ownership. So you can just go on the AWS and you can just find out this and you can calculate the total cost price of your product. So is it clear, guys? Now suppose I have understand the use case of my application and I have estimate. Yeah, that word I was missing, the estimate. Okay, what will be the estimate of my MU product when we are trying to deploy it with the AWS? So we can just estimate the cost, and this note sheet and the estimated cost we can share with the management, so they will comfortable about all the things. So guys, this is the price calculator. You can create your estimate. So when you will just go there, so create your, on the price calculator you can just get the create estimate option. With that create estimate options, everyone have to just go on that. Is it clear? I just want to show you. uh, no, actually they have divided different. Just wait, I am going to show you from where you can just calculate the price. Yeah, so when you will work in the industry and any customer is coming to you, then you can just come at this point and you can just click on the AWS price calculating, estimate the cost of your architecture solution. But you should be comfortable with your architecture. Okay, so what is the architecture? So what is your requirement for a deployment of your application? So you can just create on this. So what will be the API gateway? What services you are expecting? So this all services and the configurations budget you can select, but you will not deploy first. You will just start the cost estimations. So I think everyone will be comfortable with this price calculator. It's one type of service and features which is provided by the AWS. Yeah, now let's continue on the next. Just wait. I will request you have to just export. Yeah, there is a one case study. So I will request to everyone, I am just playing that case study. Then you have to understand that case study, and you should prepare a price calculator for that. Okay, so when you will prepare the price calculator for that, or when you will just estimate the cost, so you will really understand ki what the case study is saying. So give me a minute, guys. I am playing that case study. Just wait. Uh, most of the time I always talk about server price, this also. If you are not in general use of that, so it's just an concept for us. But when you will practically come on that way, so you will enjoy this. Yeah, this case study. I will ask some question on the basis of this video. So I am expecting attention from all of you. Kunal, Manav, Jess, Girish, please go through this case study. Give me a minute. It's an example of an industry. I hope voice is audible.
Welcome.
Yes, sir.
This video will review a case study on the total cost of ownership for Delaware North, a major food and hospitality company. Delaware North originated in 1915 as a peanut and popcorn concessions vendor. Today, it's a leader in the food service and hospitality industry. Delaware North serves more than 500 million customers annually at more than 200 locations around the world, resulting in $3 billion in annual sales. The company's on-premises data center was becoming too expensive and inefficient to support its global business operations. Delaware North had to constantly upgrade aging equipment in order to rapidly deploy new solutions to meet customer requirements. The CIO stated Delaware North needed to find a better solution. They turned to AWS. In 2013, Delaware North migrated 50 websites to AWS as a test bed. They conducted an evaluation to see if they could move all of their workloads to AWS. The evaluation process centered on 3 criteria. First, a cloud solution needed a broad set of technologies that could handle all of Delaware North's enterprise workloads while delivering support for critical functions. From an operational perspective, Delaware North wanted the features and flexibility to modify core IT processes to improve efficiencies and lower costs. Finally, financial requirements needed to demonstrate a return on investment for moving away from their existing data center environment. A cost comparison completed by Delaware North demonstrated that it could save $3.5 million based on a 5-year run rate by moving its on-premises data center to AWS. Their CIO noted that the deep technology stack available on AWS was more than sufficient to meet the company's technical requirements. Delaware North saved at least $3.5 million over 5 years by reducing their server hardware by more than 90%. The most dramatic physical change was the elimination of 205 servers. Everything that ran on that hardware was migrated to AWS. About 6 months into its cloud migration, Delaware North realized benefits to its data center consolidation, security compliance, disaster recovery, and faster deployment times for new services. By leveraging the security best practices of AWS, Delaware North was able to eliminate a lot of compliance tasks that in the past took up valuable time and money. The solution helps Delaware North operate with greater speed and agility. It used to take between 2 and 3 weeks to provision new business units. Now it only takes 1 day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, guys, I think everyone will be comfortable with this case study. There was a company, so you can just consider that company like a Flipkart. Now you can imagine Flipkart is using or 500 million customers with the Flipkart, and when they have started their things, so they were just maintaining the 5,000 customers. Now they are maintaining the 5 crore customers. So if they are maintaining the 5 crore customers through every year, so what the data they are generating and how they are managing this data. So if the core function of the Flipkart was that they are comfortable to deliver the goods and manage the things in e-commerce. So the most of the things, and if they are focusing to extend their system, if they are not extending their IT infrastructure, then their business will definitely go down. So what they will do, they will just give this all services, and they will just talk to extend their IT infrastructure with the cloud provider. So now they are only focusing on their business of e-commerce, and the resources which they have required for the IT, they are just going to come from the AWS. So guys, that was a small case study ki how much they are saving in the, if any industry is going to shift in this way. So I think by this case study you have understand what was the cost if they are trying to extend their system with their own infrastructure, and if they are trying to extend their system with the cloud. So is it clear, guys, how this company and how the case study was working? And a lots of benefits they are getting now for the security, for the for the compilations, for the management, for the disaster recovery. So if we are maintaining the things at our end, so we are only focusing on the things in that way. But if we are getting the services from a cloud provider, then they will provide the things in a different way. So guys, this was the things related to the case study. So I think everyone will be comfortable. Now let's continue. After this case study, I will request please go through this type of case study. Then you will definitely understand what kind of benefits are coming in the cost manner. So yeah, just yes, in 2015 their investment was like this, and in 2019 after the 5 year they are just investing this much. But if they were doing the same thing with on premises, so the investment was like that. Now the benefits, so the business goals, they are getting the resource optimization, the speed up to the market, and the operational efficiencies. This all things are going to increase for them. So guys, this was the things related to the total cost ownership. Now we are coming a new things related to the AWS that we call the AWS organizations. Ownership, we are coming on the AWS. So I hope everyone will be comfortable with the total cost ownership. Anyone have any doubt? What is AWS total cost ownership? You can just migrate partially, or you can just ship your things on the cloud. So they are giving the total cost ownership benefits that we are seeing the TCO services. In this TCO services, we have a price calculator, and we can just calculate the estimate over prices. So how the price calculator is working. Now we are coming on the concept of AWS organization concept. So guys, to maintain the better price, why we are using the concept of AWS organizations? So this is a concept to manage the pricing. Okay, just wait. To manage the pricing in organization. How this AWS organization concept can manage the pricing into the organization. So guys, I'm just giving a one scenario. Okay. So guys, we are selecting one person from your class. Who is? Yeah, Manav. Manav is a owner of a IT company. Okay. And the Manav is the CEO of IT company. Please understand the organization concept. Now, Manav have used the price calculator, and he estimate its website. This company is not that much Manav's company is not that much high or uh, uh, large scale company. They are just a starting developer company, or they are managing the 5 different websites of Rajkot clients. Are you getting my point? What is scenario? Manav have a company in Rajkot, and Manav's company is managing the 5 website. This Manav's company is managing the 5 website of Rajkot clients. Some local clients Manav have, and Manav's company is managing the five websites for various cloud from 5 clients. Now Manav is doing all the things and all the services, and all the employee of Manav company are getting the server, deploying the website, managing the data, and all the services are maintained through the AWS account, or they are doing their job on the AWS cloud. Okay, so this all company, and this company is running with the AWS cloud, because Manav have not its own infrastructure. Because Manav and four friend have started this company, and they were trying to provide the facility to five websites. So they not buy any infrastructure. They were just maintaining this all the things from AWS cloud. Now Manav have a budget, or Manav have a yearly budget. Okay, or you can just consider Manav have a yearly plan, monthly plan. Ki I will just you know I will just spend around 30,000 3 lakh rupees. Okay, my budget is monthly budget. I will only spend the 3 lakh rupees per month to maintain these five websites. If my budget is going to up from this 3 lakh rupees, then everyone should ask with me. I will approve this estimate, and if anything is going to change in the estimates, so I will approve this thing. So is it clear? First, who is the CEO of this company? Manav. Now Manav have estimated a budget ki what is the monthly cost to manage these five websites. So he is paying 3 lakh rupees per month to AWS when he is getting the services from AWS. Now, if the monthly cost is going to increase than this 3 lakh rupees, then the approval will be held, or the approval will be completed, or the company or the manager or other people will just take the approval from the CEO, and they will just extend this thing. So in this way, every company is following the organizational stake or organizational structure to get the services from the AWS. Now you will understand this thing. Suppose Manav company, or Manav is a CEO, and he has an account, and he always care about this account, because this should not happen ki yaar, any new joiner person or any new developer, he is generating the bill from AWS, and that the bill cost will be the 10 lakh rupees. So it will be the charge, and it will be a loss from Manav's side. So that's why he always estimate the budget 3 lakh rupees. If anyone is extending for the use of the services less than 3 lakh rupees, so the acceptance and the things will come to the Manav's notice, and he will just estimate this thing. So in this concept, every company is following the concept of AWS organizations. So every department have this hierarchy, and they are maintaining, and they are giving a different rights to their teams. So this all teams have their own budget, or they have their own monthly budgets. So we can just follow the whole organizational structure. So if you will come, or you will check my AWS account, so there is a root account, and there will be a number of IAM account. So guys, I will explain how you can manage this root account and IAM account. So just wait, I want to show you. Yeah, if I will sign out from this AWS account, so there is my root account. So you can create your root account. This root account will be the Manav's account or the company's account. Now I am creating the number of IAM users. So this IAM users are the teams. Those are, I am assigning some budgets to these teams, and these teams are getting the services. If any team is exceeding from the budget, so it will come into the notice of the root user, and the things and the policies can be changed from the root users. So is it clear, guys, what is the concept of organizations? Now if you will just go into the deep of AWS organization, So every organization have a organization account. So that account we call the root account. After this root account, they are dividing their companies or they are preparing their policies. You know, in Manav's company, this is one website account. This is the sub website. You know, I was saying the Manav's team is managing the 5 websites. This is another website account, and this is another website account. So 4 websites are going to maintain. So this type of website have a different policies. This website have a different policies, and this website have a different policies. And this all things are going to manage by the root person, and this is the Manav. Now, if you know, if you will go inside the policies of, so there is a different AWS account. So that account we call the IAM account. So this will be a different IAM account. This will be a different IAM. But the billing will be generated on the name of company, on the name of organization. So is it clear, guys, what is the mean of the organization? So we are getting the bills and the services from the AWS in the mean of the organization. Yeah, guys, if is it clear to organization concept to everyone? Then please reply. Yeah, Dipen, Girish, Jess, you know. So if earlier what was happening, ki if you are logging as a new employee into the organization, then what you will do, for just enjoyment, I am running this virtual machine, I am running this instances, I am accessing this services. So monthly bill of the organization will increase. So who will pay? The organization will pay. But now this AWS person, you know, the solution architect, it will architect this all accounts and it will prepare the policies. So when we will go in the deep of this, so you can prepare the policy, you can create the group, you can just decide the AWS account. So I have just created I will not log in most of the time in my root account, because the root account have a budget facility and I always use the IAM account. Is it clear? So my IAM account have also a different budget. Suppose in this account I have decided 100 rupees for the expenses. So here I have only decided the 10 rupees for expenses. So guys, this is the mean of the organization, and every company is working in the concept of organizations, and this is the feature of AWS. Now what you will get in this feature, so policy based account management. So I think it will be clear what is the mean of the policy based account, groups based account management, API programming interface account. So we can program the account also, consolidated billing, the company have a own billing in a consolidated way. Then we can come on the next point. Why we are doing this? So we are just doing this thing for the security with the AWS organization. No one can enter into a different IAM account. You know, suppose one code, okay, just wait. Suppose one of my team was working and they were using the IAM account user, and they have created and they have deployed a application. So no other team member can enter in this IAM account. There will be only a rights to those people. Those are the part of that teams. So suppose Manav company is maintaining the 5 websites, or they Manav have a 5 different employees. So every employee is just going to enter in their websites. They will not enter in the other websites. You know, that is the security reasons. So service control policies and this all policies we can implement there. Now, how the organization setup work. So I have already explained units, then create a service control policies and test your restriction. First, you have to create your organization account, then how many departments you have in your organization, how many teams you have in your organization. If you will prepare your team, then you can just set up the policy for your teams, and then you can just hand over your account to your teams. So there will be a restriction for them. So guys, this is the mean of the use of the account. Okay, so there is a limit. So when you will spend your time, so you can understand what is the limit for a different teams. So if you want to understand the deeply what is the mean of the limit, sir. So number of accounts, number of routes, number of OS, number of policies. So this all you can just create through your organizations. Now, how the people can access the organization's account. So every people have a AWS management console. Through the AWS management console, we will learn the three methods. First method is the CLI interface. आप या तो CLI कमांड लाइन इंटरफेस से अकाउंट एक्सेस कर सकते हो, या आप SDK सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट किट्स SDK के थ्रू आप एक्सेस कर सकते हो. Otherwise, you can also access the account through the HTTPS secure query application programming interface. So mainly we work on the CLI and mainly we work on the SDK. So guys, this is the concept of organization. I think everyone will be comfortable with this concept. Is it clear? Yeah, if anyone have any doubt, then you can ask me. So guys, today I have also given a practical things related to the total cost ownership. So how you can cost of your deployment, how you can work with the AWS organization concept. We use this to manage the pricing of the owner, pricing of the organization and billing of the organization for the security purpose. Now let's continue. Yeah, now we are coming. If all the basic concept related to the economics and billing is clear to you, then you can just come on the AWS billing console management system. So guys, just wait how this uh, billing management system work. Just wait. I want to show you this billing management console in my account. Just wait. I'm going to log in my account. From the root user I can manage this all things, and I think at this time everyone have a user account or root account, and I am maintaining the multi-factor authentications for this Google authorization I am using for this. So just wait. I will guide you how you can set this all things. Once. Okay, so guys, you can just log in your account and you can just come on the billing. Okay. So it's a very important things. You have to understand the all concept related to the billing, I, uh, identity authentications or access management services, budget services. So if you are comfortable with this, then this the way which is giving the detail related to the process of budget and all. So I have set my budget 0, so it will always show you 0. But if you will just explore this thing with the example, so just wait, I want to show you. Yes. what is the AWS billing and cost management. So guys, in this billing and cost management, we are introducing the billing and cost management console of AWS, how this console will be there. So this console will give all the detail, your current month billing and detail. It will give your estimated budget. It will give your last 3 months budget. It can also give a single day budgets also. So you can use all the services. You can just store your budget spaces and text for a 1 day. You can store your invoices also. So what are the tools actually in the billing? So there is a AWS budget tool, AWS cost and user report, AWS cost and explorer. So you can just go on the cost explorer. So when I will go on the cost explorer, so you can find out on which application, on which instance we are spending how much money. So when you will deploy your application, then you can just go on the cost explorer. In the next, if you want to get the cost report, so we can just generate the monthly report, we can just generate the yearly report, quarterly report, per day report. So this all type of reports they are going to generate for your applications. Yeah, so there is a report option also. So you can check my use for a month, July, June, and all is zero. Okay, so if you can uh, cost explorer also. So this all the features you can explore. Now the cost explorer, AWS cost explorer, we generally use for a various application. So everyone should be comfortable with this process, and you should be and you should comfortable with the cost explorer and all the budget things related to your application. So when you will go through this, so you will get maximum detail. Yeah, there is some monthly bill. So what is the expenses? Suppose $15 is monthly bill. So what my use, how much I have expend, how much I expend with the AWS. You can also explore the previous 3 months budget. You can generate the report. So just wait. It's an very important. Everyone should be comfortable to generate the report. You know this question, so you can just click on the report. You can create your new report. So there is a 6 month report. These are my reports. So when I want to create the report of today's or any application, so you can create your report through the create report function. Now this is the report. Yeah, uh, there is also a demo of so I am also explaining the demo, but if you will go through this course, so you can just find out a demo video here. Yeah, in the module they have given a demo. Yes, so I'm just playing this, and you will get lots of knowledge and details related to this. Or I will request to everyone, you can just go through this second module. And in this second module, the most important thing is billing dashboard. Okay, so all the concept and economics and cloud economics and billing which we have learned. So you have to just explore this. Yeah.
Welcome. Today we will look at the AWS Billing Dashboard. You can reach the Billing Dashboard from the AWS homepage by using the My Account drop-down menu. In this case, we've created a temporary account for me called Matt Billing. As I scroll down, it's My Billing Dashboard. Click on the link, and it opens up the Billing and Cost Management Dashboard, which shows a summary in a single view of my costs associated with this particular account. In this case, on the right-hand side, we have the month-to-date spend by service. So it gives you a nice overview to see which particular services are incurring the most costs. In the middle, it also gives you the spend summary. So the middle bar here is the month to date. And then I have a forecast based upon the current usage this month. And I also have a historical perspective where I can look and see what happened last month to see where we're at. If I'd like to dive deeper into the costs associated with this account, I click Cost Explorer. Cost Explorer brings up the current costs in the month along with forecasted month-end costs. It shows me how much it's increased or decreased over the month, and I can go ahead and click Explore Costs. By exploring costs, it drops down. By the way, before I do that, look on the right-hand side. It shows the December trends. So SageMaker costs are up. And so we can go ahead also see by region that costs are up. As I click Explore Costs, I now have the ability along the top to categorize and drive down deeper into the costs. So for example, I can look at costs per region. Here it shows that US West, Oregon, is where we're incurring the most costs. I could go ahead and look at an instance type, for example. M4 Large Elasticsearch is incurring the most costs within this account. T2 Micro, T1 Micro, not as much. So you can look at it by instance type. I can also click service to see how I'm incurring costs per service. The nice thing is if my boss came to me and said, Matt, I need a report. Can you give me a report on how much our costs have been over the year to date within this account? I can click new report. That would be a cost and usage reports. I have other options in terms of reports. I click create report. Drop-down menu under last 3 months gives me the option here for year to date, along with 1 year, 6 months, or I can do a custom. So I'm going to do year to date. I click apply, and now it does show me the costs incurred here per month. And it does show on the bottom here that June and July, we incurred a high amount of cost. July, $1,400, and in June.
Yeah, guys, so I just want to show you last thing related to the budget. So please be attentive related to this, how you can set the budget. Yeah. And now please understand, to create the budget, you can just click on the budget. You can just set your monthly budget. So from this onwards, it's a very important concept. So I will expect all of you are going to learn this, and you are going to set a budget in your account for a month. Okay.
So year-to-date costs for Matt billing account, let's say. Now I can click Save Report. And now that report has been saved. Over here on the left-hand side, there are the saved reports. So there are a whole bunch of different reports that I can go ahead and look at. I can go ahead and even create reports from here. So here's my report that I did create. And of course, it's the same view we saw earlier. The last thing to look at is budgets. Budgets allow us to go in from a cost perspective or from a usage perspective to go ahead and set up a budget that will allow us to trigger an alert when we exceed that budget. So we can set the parameters. In this case, there's a monthly budget. It's associated with cost. It gives us the current cost, and it's budgeted to $100. Forecasted $294. And then it tells us overview where we're at. If I click on this monthly budget, it gives me an overview of what's actually incurred, and it shows the alert. So the alert that was set up when this budget was created was the actual costs exceed by 10% the budgeted amount. In this case, the budgeted amount is $300. The actual costs, if they exceed by 10%, which is $30, then this particular Amazon account or email account will be notified. And when that's notified, then you can go ahead and you know that something's occurring and you can go in and handle it. It doesn't shut off anything or stop anything. It just gives you a warning. You can also do it by usage. So you can look at the usage of different services within your AWS account. So there's a lot of granularity here that you can go ahead and set up so that you can make sure that you're within your budgets. For example, this account's used to create classes, so we can make sure that in creating a particular class, in testing the labs, that we don't exceed a particular budget, in this case $300. That changes. Obviously, you saw earlier in the year that we incurred a lot more costs because it was a different kind of class that was more resource intensive. And so that would obviously require us to.
Yes, so Vasu, Manav, and all the Dipen, Girish, Kunal, all of you will be comfortable with this thing. Tushar, what is the mean of budget, how we are using? So now, don't worry how you are accessing your AWS account. So just set a budget. Just go there. You can just set your budget 000. Okay. So when we will set the budget 00, just wait, and you will always get the notification ki, okay, if anything is happening wrong. Yeah, I have set my budget like Vishal Chandel, my budget is 0.001, so only 1 cent. So I have also set the limit, so by mistake if I am using any kind of services, and any of my friend is going to use the services, so it will definitely intimate to me. So guys, you can just create your budget and you can just access your things in this way. So it's an easiest way to use the, yeah. You can create your budget report also, so they will refund, but we are not going at that level. It's just an starting because we have a free options to use. So guys, I think from my side, it will be sufficient for the cost and all. I will request to everyone, please go through the module second. This all things was related to the demo of the module second, and I have covered all the topics related to the module second. So I just want to wrap up this. If you will go in this. Yeah. So we have covered the cost, economics, and billing. So the fundamental of the pricing. I am summarizing the three fundamental: compute, business, compute, storage, and data transfer. Then we have discussed on the total cost ownership. So in the total cost, just wait for a minute. Yes, so sorry guys, just yeah. So three fundamental of the pricing: total cost ownership, then the AWS organization concept, then the billing dashboard, and the uh, last point is remain, so the technical support. So in the technical support, I just want to show you what they offer. You can't imagine which type of services they are offering in the. So in the next lecture, we will discuss on the total cost ownership, and then we will come on the uh, the fees of second module. So guys, first and second module, I think everyone will be comfortable. In the first, we have discussed on the introduction and which type of services are provided by the AWS. In the second, we have discussed on the billing and cost. Now in the third module, we are coming on the infrastructure. So the global infrastructure view of the AWS. So we will discuss on it and we will start our practical things from here. When the module 6 will be completed, that time we will you will definitely enjoy the sandbox and the use of this. So first you have to create account, you have to understand, and you have to work on this. Yeah, if anyone have any doubt, I will request to everyone. Yeah, in the next session I will check everyone's account whether you have completed your module first or second or not. Okay. So first and second module have to complete by everyone. Yeah, Yashang, have you started the learning? Vasu, Tushar, Smith, Pathik, yeah, Manav, Kunal, Jess. Yeah, I'm just going to check how many people have not still started the learning. Just give me a minute. Yeah, 39 people have not accepted the course and not started the learning. Guys, I can check everyone's name. Yeah, from your batch, who is Darshan, Deep, Girish, Hitesh, Devji, Ivanshi, Jess. Yeah, Jess, your name is also here. You have not started the learning. Yeah, Jess, reply. Jess Virani. Why Jess? Please complete module first and second. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Because if you will come with me and you will learn with me, then I think I'm explaining briefly or with my knowledge. Okay. Yeah, Tushar have not. So it's my request. We are working together. Then everyone should get the. Yeah, Kunal have not. Kunal Joshi, Kunal Chauhan, Manav. What is the problem? You can just go on that and you can just start. Safe. Tushar, both the Tushar. What's your reply? Yeah, Tushar safe. Safe,
Sir,
yeah.
my internship is going on, so I'm not able to manage things right now.
Okay, but at least start Tushar, so you can just go through the quiz and all. I'm explaining deeply with the all concepts. Or are you enjoying?
Sir, I'm understanding things, but sir, there are too many things going around. Sir, projects and all, everything is going right now. So,
Uh,
sir, it's so I, sir, I'll take the time out. Sir, can you tell me the deadline? Like,
no, Tushar,
I'll take
actually,
a week out and I'll complete all the stuff. Like, I'll do it by that
uh,
way.
you have to attentive when I am showing the practical things. Okay. So suppose how you can go on the billing, how you can set the budget, how you can explore. So be attentive in
Sir,
the
I'm
class.
attending, sir. Sir, I'm attending and I'm understanding. But sir, I cannot manage my time because I have some extra classes also there, like of other external classes also going on. So I have to manage all the things. So
Okay,
there
you know.
will be a break. At that time, I will complete the certification. So can you tell me the deadline when I have to complete it by? Like,
I have assigned a deadline of 2 months. Okay, from the 22nd to 22nd July to 22nd September. Okay, but practically you have to come on this platform. Okay,
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
At least 1 hour you can just manage from your busy schedule, then you can complete. Yeah. Okay, so guys, if anyone have any doubt till this second module, then you can ask me.